What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the 4-Minute Midnight Podcast with me, Hichul is not gay. This is episode number 22, aka Cube continues to mishandle its female artists. I have a lot of interesting stories for you tonight, but before that, I'd like to go quickly to chart activities. These are courtesy of at 4M_JP and at Doug_Blackwell. So follow these guys on Twitter. First, Hate is number one. It's still number one on China's QQ Music Korean chart. It's a third straight week of them being number one with Hate. And in Japan, Hate remains at number 3 on Japan's M-On weekly K-pop chart. Meanwhile, other songs from Act 7 remain strong on the QQ Music K-pop singles charts. Hate is number 1, like I said. No Love is number 6. Blind is number 13. Two spot increase from last week, from the previous week, and Canvas is number 46. It dropped 9 places from the previous week. Hate is also doing well again outside Asia. It's number 1 on France's iTunes K-pop singles chart. Hate is number 1, while Canvas is number 9. Canvas. In the US, Act 7 is still in the top 10 on the US iTunes K-pop albums. Alright, YouTube, Hate has surpassed 11 million views, while Crazy, the music video for Crazy, has reached 51 million views. Okay, among all K-pop groups all time, 4Minute is number 6 in terms of YouTube views with nearly 700 million views total. All their music videos. Psy is number 1 with far number 1 with 5 billion. Alright, also in Germany, by the way, before I end this segment, Hate is number 1 in Germany's K-pop charts for February. Number 1. Okay, this is courtesy of @Remarkable Forum. So that's it for charts updates. Okay, and one more thing. Like I said last week, Jiyeon's latest public drama, her first in 5 years. The first episode aired last night, midnight, 12:35 midnight Korean Standard Time. If you want to download the episode, I think it's raw, no subs yet. You can check out my Twitter. I retweeted a torrent link, torrent magnet, if you want to see if you can understand Korean, or you just want to have a feel of what the drama is about. Okay, My Little Baby. So speaking of Nam Jiyeon, like I said, the first episode of the drama was last night. So before that, Friday night, the cast of the drama held a press conference. So she talked about, she answered a few questions about her character and the group, and her group 4Minute. Okay, this is courtesy of @PurplePrism. So Jiyeon talked about her role as a yoga instructor. She said that she enjoys doing yoga on a daily basis anyway, so she's taken yoga as a hobby. She admitted that her body has always been glamorous, in a cheeky way, in a funny way, not in a haughty way. So I've always been glamorous, but there wasn't any real opportunity to show that off until now. The opportunity to show that naturally through acting had presented itself through this drama, so I happily and right away told my manager that I wanted to be part of this project. She also talked about her character, Han Sohyun, having a princess disease, and if she ever felt that way about herself. Princess disease is like a woman who is full of herself, who thinks she should be the center of everybody's world, basically. Okay, Jian said, I've never once thought of myself as someone who has caught the princess disease, but if I were to think about it now, there's some aspect of it that I can relate to, like checking myself in the mirror often. I've never really heard about anything serious about it, but I've been hearing that I have a princess-like image. So cheeky. I mean, I've heard people say that the princess style suits me well. So she said she's been understood a lot because of how she looks, of this image. And then finally, she was asked about how the other members of 4Minute reacted about hearing the news of her casting. Jian said, the members cheered me on a lot when they found out that I was going to be on a public channel drama after 5 years. My project from 5 years ago was also an MBC drama. They encouraged me a lot and said that this project was great because the part I played suited me quite well. Okay, so that's it. My Little Baby, that's the title of the drama, starring OGO. Jiyeon is a regular supporting cast member, okay? So not just a cameo, not just a few episodes, but she is a yoga instructor, so expect to see her in tights and tanks, if that's not enough for you. Okay. Okay, in other solo news, a guy appeared on the reality show Produce 101 as a coach. So she appeared on the 7th episode, which was aired last Friday. The show is every Friday, in case you're interested. Every Friday, 11 p.m. Korean Standard Time. So it's about an hour and a half. The show is a reality girl group survival show on Mnet. I think it started with like 100 trainees, and the Cube has some trainees in the episode. I haven't seen the episode, and I don't know what Guyan did, but I'm sure she didn't coach about dancing. All right. Also, last Friday, so after Jiyeon's conference, she went straight to Macau for a concert. They did the I Want Cube concert with Best and B2B, and who else was there? CLC? I think CLC was there. So 4Minute was in Macau to capitalize on their rapidly growing popularity in China. So 4Minute performed Hate, No Love, Crazy, Music, Cold Rain, What's Your Name, Heart to Heart, and Hot Issue. So that's a pretty good set list. I would have wanted to see Hot there and Blind. Those are two songs I would have wanted to see. Okay, nonetheless, as soon as the concert ended, they left. I think early Saturday morning they went back to Korea. So it's a hectic schedule, even though they finished promoting for Hate already. But first, I want to talk about a touching story from a Spanish foreigner. Okay, this is one story that I hope gets picked up because it's very touching. And okay, it's all good _07. Maybe some of you have read this already. This is from Inma Gomez from Spain. Okay, just let me read her story quickly for you. Okay, basically she said that Sohyun saved her life. Okay, I hope Sohyun gets to read this because it really is a very touching story. Okay, my name is Inma Gomez and I'm a 21-year-old girl from Spain. The reason why I'm writing this email is because I want 4Minute to know that they saved my life. My parents got divorced when I was 13, so since then I couldn't see my father properly because he was working to raise the family he left behind, which is my family, and he also had a new family which he also supported. So my relationship with my father became so cold that we didn't see each other. So on July 30th in 2013, he had a car accident wherein he died protecting two little kids that were with him in that car. I couldn't tell him goodbye, Dad, or I love you, Dad, for the last time. I regret so many things. I wish I could have been closer to him, and I wish I were a better daughter. In July 30th of 2013, I lost my smile. So that same day, I couldn't even eat. My friends couldn't make me smile either, and my family was also sad. I was depressed and I couldn't do anything. I wasn't strong enough. I didn't know about K-pop until January 2014 when one of my friends told me to check out Super Junior. It was cool, I admit, but that wasn't enough to lift me up. Until 4Minute released What You Doing Today, Inma said that was the first time I smiled again when I was watching that music video. So then I watched What's Your Name, and I also smiled. 4Minute were the first people that made me smile again after 6 months, or after since her dad passed away. Okay, Inma continued her story. She said, I watched their shows and I've seen so many girl groups, but no group is like 4Minute. They just made me smile and laugh when nobody could. I started eating again, so she said she started eating again and became healthy, and she's very grateful to 4Minute for that. Okay, 4Minute is the reason why I'm still alive. Inma said they think they don't have much fans or that they aren't anyone's favorite, but I just want them to know that they are so important. I want them to know that they saved at least one life. Okay, once I finish my studies and I get a job, I like to go to Korea and invite them to eat some paella, which I think they would like. It's the least I can do for them because they saved me. And they are very important. So she asks, maybe Cube can let Sohyun read this message or translate it so Sohyun can read it. There's not much we can do because Cube is a piece of garbage, but maybe if we can get if we retreat this story enough, it might pick up some steam, get featured somewhere else. Maybe, who knows, it might reach Sohyun. Okay, so she says, thank you to Sohyun for answering me. I know you probably don't remember these things, but replying to it twice on Twitter was really kind. Okay, so I'm glad that Inma, I'm glad that you are doing well now, that you are healthy and not depressed. If you have a similar story, tweet it to me. I would like to read it, feature it on this podcast. You can write it in the comment section below if it's too long, or tweet me. Okay, any which way. Alright, so thank you for sharing this story. Inma, she is at itsallgood_07. Speaking of another one featured, this time featuring Hyuna. Okay, this one is, well, Hyuna didn't save a life, but she did a very kind gesture for a fan. Okay, this one is courtesy of @PoetWaiting, a Korean foreigner, particularly Hyuna fan. Okay, so during a fan sign last week, after the fan sign ended, there was a fan who appeared in front of Hyuna. She talked to Hyuna, and she's a big fan of Hyuna. And she is handicapped. I'm not sure, the story didn't say what kind of disability she has, the female fan, but she is handicapped. Okay, so there were pictures were everywhere about Hyuna, like listening closely to what the fan had to say, or the fan's story, and then Hyuna, I think the fan said she was looking for her mom and she couldn't find her, so Hyuna grabbed her hand, the fan's hand, and then they got on the escalator. Like, Hyuna, like a common person, who went on the escalator because there were so many people in the elevator. And they looked for her mom. They finally found her mom, and before they said goodbye, Hyuna gave the fan a big hug. So a lot of people saw this, and it was some netizen comments on Pan were, how can you have a negative comment on this? So if you didn't watch Hyuna's reality show, you should. Unlike her looks, she's so innocent and doesn't wear much makeup. It's sad that she gets hate for her makeup and clothes when she's really kind in person like this. Hyuna is the only popular member in her group, but they have no rumors of bad relationship or anything, and they get along well. It shows how nice Hyuna and 4Minute members are. True. To those that are calling her cheap, isn't she too nice to be called that? I also thought Hyuna had a strong energy, but she looked like a nice person when I watched her on her reality show. She thinks about her parents and her younger brothers a lot. She's also a crybaby. She debuted at an early age, but she has had no controversy or attitude or dating rumors. She has her own aura on the stage. Even though people bash Hyuna, she'll continue to remain one of the top artists in K-pop. Hyuna debuted a long time ago, but she has had no scandals or controversies. She didn't do anything that deserved harsh criticisms. She's actually so kind and nice off stage. I hope people will stop hating her. I'm glad that people are starting to see the light about how nice a person Hyuna really is. Okay, so there was a blind item recently, just a few days ago, and the speculation is that this is a Cube artist. Okay, before I read the news, this is from Instiz. I would like to preface this with news that G.na parted ways with Cube earlier this week. Cube said it was amicable. It was an amicable decision. I think it's the right decision for G.na because she hasn't promoted anything. Her last promotional promos for an album was 2013. That's 3 years. That's eternity for K-pop, for a K-pop artist. So 3 years, and I think she is signing, or she already signed with Mamamoo's agency, Rainbow Bridge Entertainment. Okay, so that was this week. Cube already letting go of one of its artists whose contract has expired. Okay, so let's see who's next. Okay, we all know that. So how does this relate to 4Minute? We all know that G.na is very close to, especially to Jiyeon and Hyuna. So let's see how this turn of events affects 4Minute's decision when their contract with Cube expires later this year. Okay, like I said, there's a blind item. Okay, just let me read. Let me just read it. So the title is, this is an exclusive, apparently. Singer A, taken down from agency's homepage, caught prostituting overseas. So singer A, who is 29 years old, was recently in the news for her contract expiring with her previous agency on the 1st. It has shocked the industry because she was booked under charges of prostitution. One source said the famous female singer who was taken in by police for investigation on the 23rd is Aishi. They're calling her Aishi under the name Aishi. So she was previously known for rejecting a sponsor offer by a broker, but investigations have shown that she had actually accepted the offers and was booked on the 27th. Once investigations on the 27th proved that she had indeed accepted the offers, A's name was immediately deleted from her agency's homepage. The media had reported on the 1st that the two had agreed to part ways after her contract expired, and her agency emphasized that the decision was purely to do with her contract and not the scandal. So A debuted under the agency in 2010 and became known for her glamorous body and vocal talent, and has recently been promoting on variety shows. According to investigations, A was introduced to a 45-year-old businessman at an LA hotel and had sex with him for a total of 3 times for about 40 million won. Okay, a few things. Okay. So the blind item is very specific. First of all, G.na was born in 1987, so that makes her 29 years old. She debuted 2010 as a solo artist, and we all know that she has a nice body. She has big boobs and a small waist. Okay, and like I said earlier, okay, she recently departed from Cube, March 1 actually. And she has a fashion and beauty program together with other singers, singer Ivy and actress Wang Song-an. So she's still in that. She still hosts that fashion program, Follow Me 6, which would be the variety show part. Okay, so obviously the article is talking about G.na. There is no other artist that departed from or that changed agency recently, and it's very there's no actual proof yet that she got arrested. That's why it's still very shady. This one came right after she left Cube, so it's very shady. The businessman apparently paid 90 million won to bring her to the US, and paid G.na, or Aishi, allegedly paid her 40 million won. So I think Hyuna found out about this that day. That's why she had to take like a personal break. She had to leave a little later. But if it is G.na's, I mean, she should just say goodbye to her career. There's no coming back from this. People with big boobs people in K-pop with big boobs already have a bad reputation. Many people already think of them as hoes, and G.na, with her glamorous body and all, surgery has taken a toll on her face. So I mean, she should just say, career, rest in peace. I hope it's not. I have a strong feeling that it's just Cube throwing garbage at artists who leave them. So let's wait and see what will happen to this news. I do believe it will affect 4Minute's decision somewhat, regarding whether they'll renew with Cube after their contract expires. Okay, speaking of, that brings me to the last segment of the show, of this podcast. Last week I asked, what do you think will happen to 4Minute once their contract expires? Okay, again, thanks to everybody who replied. Okay, first, Atladituk said, I think you will resign 4Minute to a new contract, but I kind of wish 4Minute would just leave Cube and form a new company where foreigners are the managers. Okay, that won't happen. Foreigners cannot be managers of... they should just get like real managers or not managers, because managers in Korea are like assistants. But like someone who knows how to promote them better. It depends on what kind of path 4Minute wants to take for their future. Whether they want to focus more on music or other stuff like acting, individual projects. I think that will play a big role in their decision on whether to sign with Cube or with another agency. Okay, Atclexa said, as much as I don't like it, I think they'll renew their contract with Cube. At Ambush 4251 said, Cube would be stupid not to resign 4Minute. Okay. However, this one is from at Purple Prism. Not directly to the gossip, but she said, okay, this is about, I think, mostly goodbye stage. After the goodbye stage, okay, there's no need to be overly dramatic. Contract renewal or not doesn't necessarily translate into disbandment. Let's just wait. It won't be long before we get some news. Don't be alarmed by Jiyeon crying or the girls being grateful to fans, because they've always been emotional every time a promo cycle ends. So Nam Jiyeon's words earlier about shouldn't we first do well for ourselves, for the company to have agreed to have us, is stronger than ever now. The outcome of the album has no impact on whether the girls would remain together. It was to give them leverage to stand up for themselves and to be in a position of power to make demands for possible close negotiations, regardless whether they decide to remain in Cube or not. What I'm curious about is whether they have a separate contract made for solo activities, as Hyuna has had to put out one each year without fail. I'm more concerned about them trying to hold her back through legal means than the girls actually parting ways. Knowing them, unlikely, in my opinion. This is just speculation from what I've felt and seen after all those years following the girls. I'd rather wait for 4Minute's announcement. Okay, again. Finally, Purple Prism says, watching over them for 7 years, I trust them and I hope they choose well and do what's in their best interest, no matter what that is. Okay, I think this was before the G.na controversy, but I strongly think after that controversy about G.na came out, alleged controversy, I think they will sign with another company. I'm not sure what, but it won't be one of the popular companies, one of the big three. Definitely not. Maybe one of those up-and-coming companies, not FNC, not DSP, not Mnet. I hope to God it's not Mnet. So probably an up-and-coming company. They don't have the resources yet to form their own company, so I don't think they do that. And I think they've had enough with Cube for them to continue working with the Cube. Okay, so that's the gossip. Thanks again to everybody who joined, who listened. For next week's episode, I'd like to ask everybody, since 4Minute is done promoting, it's up in the air what 4Minute will do next. You got a solo projects for Jiyeon. You got also Gayeon doing her own thing. But every year, 4Minute holds, or almost every year, 4Minute has or appears in their own variety show. Okay, so it won't be long until we see 4Minute in a variety show, or I hope it would happen. But it's usually the same theme: eat, 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 eat. So my question is, what would you want to see in 4Minute's next variety show? What theme would you want them to have? Would you want it to have? Okay, assuming that they would have their own show again later this year. Okay, so let me know your answers. What do you want to see in 4Minute's new variety show? Next variety show, hopefully it comes soon. Maybe we can pitch your ideas to television stations. Maybe it will be a V-app special. Okay, so let me know in the comments below. Tweet me your answers. That's it. That's the podcast. I will see all you guys next week. Thanks again for listening. Okay, until then, peace out.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Community.
Community.